You know, pretty much every dog owner teaches the come command. We all do. But what if I told you that in a real life or death emergency, that's probably the one command that's most likely to fail you? Today, we're not just talking about getting your dog to come back in the yard. We're talking about forging a lifeline, a single, absolutely unbreakable command that can literally pull your dog back from the brink of a disaster. Because that's really how fast it all happens. One second, you're just enjoying a nice, peaceful walk, and the next, you're watching an absolute nightmare unfold right in front of your eyes. The difference between a happy ending and a total tragedy, well, it often comes down to just one single word. So let's just jump right into a real-world scenario. Picture this. You've got a 10-month-old rescue dog. He's a little fearful, a little skittish. A loud noise spooks him, he slips his leash, and just bolts through an open gate. And where is he heading? Straight for a highway, where cars are just flying by at 60 miles per hour. Your heart just stops, you scream his recall word, but nothing happens. The command that works so perfectly in the backyard, it just completely crumbles under the weight of his terror. The dog hesitates, looks back, and then bolts again. The recall has failed. So what happens next? Well, in this real story, the owner's quick thinking saved the day. They screamed a totally different command, "Let's go," a phrase the dog only associated with the pure joy of a car ride to the dog park. Instantly, the dog spun around and leaped into the car, safe. And that near miss, well, it perfectly illustrates the problem we're talking about today. That standard come command that we all lean on, it's just often not enough when the stakes are high. And we really have to understand why it fails before we can even begin to build one that won't. All right, let's dig into the science here, because it's actually pretty fascinating. When a dog is in a state of high arousal, totally overwhelmed by fear or locked onto a squirrel, it isn't just ignoring you. Its brain is hardwired to respond to the cue that has the most powerful, positive emotional gut punch behind it. For that little rescue dog, the absolute joy of the dog park was stronger than the fear of the highway. Our casual, everyday come command, it just rarely carries that kind of emotional weight.
And look, the consequences of a failed recall go way beyond just our own pets. In the UK alone, it's estimated that 15,000 sheep are killed by dogs every single year. A bad recall doesn't just put your dog in danger, it's a threat to wildlife, to livestock, and to public safety. This isn't some niche little training issue. It is a fundamental responsibility of being a dog owner.
So here's the solution. This is the big aha moment. We have to stop thinking of recall as just one command. The key is to understand and to train two completely separate skills, your standard recall and your emergency recall. So your standard recall, that's your everyday come or here boy. It's pretty casual. You use it in the house, in a fenced-in yard. If your dog takes an extra second to finish sniffing something before they come over, it's not the end of the world. No big deal. The emergency recall, on the other hand, well, this is a whole different beast. It is a non-negotiable, life-saving reflex. Its one and only job is to slice through the noise of any distraction, a squirrel, another dog, an oncoming car, and trigger an immediate, high-speed, no questions asked return. Think of it like an eject button or a panic switch for your dog. And when you put them side by side, the difference is just night and day. Your emergency recall needs a totally unique, almost silly cue word, like jackpot or touchdown, something that is never used for anything else. And the reward? It's not just a biscuit. It's a jackpot, a 15 to 30-second party with the absolute best thing your dog can possibly imagine. The goal here isn't just to teach an action. It's to hardwire a powerful, positive emotional reaction that just overrides everything else in their brain. And let me be perfectly clear about this. Every single dog needs this. I hear it all the time. Oh, my dog would never run off. That is one of the most dangerous assumptions an owner can make. Leashes get dropped, gates get left open, a car backfires, and can spook even the calmest dog on the planet. This isn't about your dog's personality. It's about having a safety net for when life, happens. Okay, so how do we actually do it? How do we build this magic word? Let's get into the nitty-gritty, the practical steps for how we forge a simple sound into an incredibly powerful, life-saving tool. First things first, you need fuel. And the fuel for this command has to be way better than anything else in the environment. So you've got to figure out your dog's personal hierarchy of rewards. We are not talking about their regular kibble here. We're talking about the top shelf stuff. Real chicken, cheese, liverwurst, or maybe it's a special toy like a rabbit fur tug that only comes out for this specific training. And you're not just going to give them one little piece. You are going to deliver a jackpot. And honestly, this is the secret sauce. A jackpot is 15 to 30 seconds of a non-stop party. You're just rapid-firing treats into their mouth, giving them tons of over-the-top praise. This creates this incredibly intense, super memorable positive experience that forges that powerful emotional connection we're looking for. Now, here's maybe the most critical piece of advice I can give you: where you begin this process. You have to start in what we call a sterile environment. Think your living room, maybe your basement. The number one mistake people make is trying this at the dog park way too soon. The goal at the beginning is not to test your dog. It's to build a flawless history of success with zero distractions. 100% success rate is the only option here.
The actual process is incredibly simple. It's called charging the cue. So you pick your unique magic word. Let's say it's jackpot. You say it once in a happy, energetic voice, and the instant you say it, the 30-second party begins. Your dog doesn't even have to do anything at first. You're just teaching their brain, this sound predicts that the best thing in the entire world is about to happen. Then, after the party's over, you give a clear release cue, like, all done, and you just go about your day.
And please remember, this cue has to be sacred. You cannot use come. You can't use your dog's name. Why? Because those words are used all the time for everything and their power has been diluted. They're already poisoned with a mix of neutral or maybe even negative associations, like calling them to come inside when they're having fun. You need a brand new, squeaky clean word that means one thing and one thing only. An epic party is about to happen.
Okay, so once you've charged that cue and your dog's eyes literally light up the second they hear it, now it's time to take it on the road. This is the proofing phase. This is where we make the command reliable no matter what is going on around you.
The key is to introduce distractions systematically. I like to think of it like leveling up in a video game. You start on level 1, low-level distractions, like a really quiet park with nothing going on. Once the recall is solid there, you level up to medium distractions, maybe some people walking way off in the distance. Only when that is totally reliable do you even think about testing it against the big bosses, like squirrels or other dogs playing nearby. If your dog fails, it doesn't mean they're bad. It just means you tried to jump ahead too many levels. Just go back a step.
And through this whole proofing phase, a long line is your best friend. It is an absolutely essential safety tool, but its true purpose isn't what most people think. You're not using it to reel your dog in like a fish. Its real job is to prevent your dog from getting the chance to be rewarding for ignoring you, like, say, successfully chasing that squirrel. It makes sure that the only thing that pays off is coming back to you. And please, please always attach it to a back clip harness, never ever to a collar.
Which brings us to the single most destructive thing you can possibly do in recall training. And I mean this: never, ever, ever punish your dog for coming back to you. I don't care if it took them 5 minutes and they ran through a giant mud puddle on the way. When they finally get to you, if they are met with even a hint of anger, their brain makes one very simple connection. Coming to you is bad. You will be actively teaching your dog to stay away from you. Now, once that recall is getting pretty reliable, this is where it gets really fun. You can turn training into a game to build up speed and enthusiasm. Try surprise recalls when they're just sniffing some boring patch of grass, or play puppy ping pong with a friend where you call the dog back and forth between you. You can even try a restrained recall where someone gently holds your dog's harness while you build up excitement, and then they let go so your dog can just explode towards you. These games make the recall feel like the best thing in the world.
Because, at the end of the day, this is about so much more than just safety. When your dog, in the middle of some high-intensity moment, makes the choice to turn away from a huge distraction and sprint joyfully back to you, that's not just obedience, that's trust. The recall stops being a command, and it becomes a testament to your partnership. It's the ultimate expression of the bond that you've built together, a true lifeline forged in science, patience, and a whole lot of joy.